Hey guys, DgtlOne here, and you're watching Behind the Stream. I'm graced today with the presence of Twitch streamer IMrTrippy, and hello Mr. Trippy. Just going to ask you a few questions here today to try to tell everybody what a typical day in the life of a Twitch streamer's like, and how you've made it to where you are now.
Okay, sounds good.
First question will be, what's a typical day in the life of Mr. Trippy, Twitch streamer?
Oh, at the minute, unfortunately, I've not got a massive following on Twitch. Hopefully, it will get there one day. But I work 4 times, and Monday to Friday, I work 8 till half 4. Once I get home, I'll probably just chill out for a bit, have something to eat, and then if I don't stream, I'll normally edit like a YouTube video. I try and juggle like YouTube and Twitch, but just try and please both fans. If that makes sense.
Family life and a Twitch stream life, you got a lot on your plate.
it's all it's not like force, it's all like a hobby, it's all good fun. If it ever gets too much, like YouTube, if I get bored of it, I just sort of not upload for a couple of weeks.
And a lot of people do that. They and the fans kind of when we do put something out there, all of a sudden they eat it right up because they've been waiting.
Yeah, at least I like that anyway.
Okay, we'll move on to the next question. What percentage of your time do you devote to streaming and editing?
It's hard because, like I said, because I work full time, I put in as much time as I can. But sometimes when I get home from work, I won't be in the mood to sort of present myself to like the gaming population, if you know what I mean. Like if I'm in a bad mood, I don't want to come across as like a miserable git, so I just purely won't stream. But if I've got time off and I'm in a good enough mood to do it, I try and get at least, like this week. Obviously, I've been off for like the Christmas holidays. I've had one 7-hour stream and an 8-hour stream. And then 9 hours stream, not all like in one go, but throughout the day. But on weekends, if I am working, it's probably about like 4 or 5 hours, I reckon, and editing whenever I can fit it in.
Editing's a big time grabber.
Yeah, you just have to sort of like sit yourself down and shut yourself off from the world and just sort of crack on with it. But it's obviously long videos take a lot of time editing. I
can feel you there. And I mean, you put in quite a bit of time because I have watched your stream before, so I know you do put in a lot of hours when you do go on.
You're one of my more regular viewers.
No problem, buddy. We'll move on to the next question here. What made you think, hey, I want to show the world my life and have them watch it and we play video games from my living room?
I mean, I've pretty much gamed since I was about 9 years old. My dad got me a Sega Saturn. As my first console, and I pretty much fell in love with gaming since that. And obviously, I watch a lot of YouTube and try to watch streamers whenever I can, and they're like a big influence on me. So to think that one day I could possibly, obviously it's like a pipe dream, but possibly work playing games or be paid to play games, if you know what I mean. It's like a dream come true. So that's sort of the dream I'm aiming for. But obviously, thousands of other people are going for that as well. So you're either really, really lucky or really entertaining. So yeah, like it's hard, but that's what I want to do. So I fucked that up. I really fucked it up. But we'll carry on. That was I sort of forgot what the question was halfway through.
No problem. If you could give one piece of advice or a secret to having a successful stream, what would it be?
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't call myself successful. I've got, I think, about 204 followers at the minute, so I'm like a drop in the ocean on Twitch. But I'd say to people who do want to start doing it and maybe thinking about doing it as like a career or be paid to do it, is to try not to think about it as streaming. Just think about it as gaming, but with the added bonus of people hopefully watching you and interacting with you. I think if you start Twitch with the aim of earning money rather than entertaining yourself and hopefully others, you're sort of dooming yourself to fail, because you're just sort of you're in it for the wrong reasons. And if it doesn't happen straight away, you're going to get frustrated and bored and give up. So I'd say just do it for fun, do it as like a hobby, and if it turns into more than, if you can obviously get paid for your hobby.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times a lot of people get into the streaming life and aren't having any viewers, and they give up way too early.
Yeah, it's like the same as YouTube. I won't name names, but I've played with people before who also do YouTube, and they've said all I want is for example, I don't know, 10,000 fans, because that will mean I'm going to get loads of money for it. It's well, wouldn't you rather be entertained and be genuine and just doing it?
Exactly. Well, a lot of people think of the money before anything else, and then they give up because they can't get any further.
Money rules the world, doesn't it?
Well, we'll move on to the next question here. Was there ever a time in your streaming, since you've been streaming, when you thought this isn't really working and almost gave up?
I mean, not really. I mean, when I first started out, obviously you would have like one viewer maybe come in and say hello, and then like disappear again. But again, I was trying to do it to game with streaming on the side, and thankfully I had a lot of friends and a lot of support, like coming over from YouTube or people I game with who were helping me out and helping me get that viewer, like initial viewer level up. But I know, like, you might know it as well, like you're streaming and no one's watching. It can be not frustrating, but a bit sort of downheartening when you're not getting that viewing or like interaction you're after.
Believe me.
But like I said, thankfully I've had good support like from yourself and from like friends and people I play online with, and yeah, like no intention of giving up.
I went weeks, buddy, streaming without a viewer, and I just kept plugging away at it.
Yeah, I mean I mean everyone's got to start somewhere, haven't they? So start from the bottom, and then hopefully what I call the snowball effect will kick in, and your channel will grow nicely.
I was in your stream when you hit your 200th follower, and you're still rising. So hey.
Fingers
okay,
crossed.
we'll move on to the next question. What is IMrTrippy's favorite game or favorite genre of games?
Favorite genre would definitely be survival games, because it's pretty much, I do play the odd shooter like CSGO or Squad, but it definitely have to be survival games like DayZ, Miscreated, The Forest I've started playing recently. But as for favourite game, it's hard because I've got like a Steam list full of games which I've sort of like run out of times to play. I haven't got enough time to play, sorry. Like Fallout 4, Miscreated, and I'd say at the minute The Forest are the three main games I'm playing. I'd have to say for the moment they're my favourite games, but that list is constantly changing, and in the next 2 or 3 months we're going to have even more survival games coming out, like Survive the Nights and Escape from Tarkov or Jarkov, whatever it's called. That looks amazing. So I'm sure they're going to be on my like top 5.
That game does look really good, and Survive the Nights is going to be a great game, I think.
Yeah, it's just more. I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time on them, like hours and hours and hours. I'm probably going to be dreaming about those games.
Well, hey, you're going to be dreaming about them with a lot of other people because everybody's waiting for those. Okay, we'll move on to the next question here.
I hope they're good.
What social media platform would you recommend to get your name out there if you're a new streamer?
Good question. It's hard because you've got to juggle it between not advertising and spamming. Personally, for my YouTube channel, I use Reddit. I do use Twitter now and again, but I find Twitter has a lot of bot users. So like they'll just like follow you or favorite or retweet whatever, and it's like they're not actually a person, which is like no point in them because obviously they're not going to spread it to their friends because they're a bot. But I do use Reddit, but the only problem with Reddit is you will be shot down a lot on there, so you've got to have like quite thick skin to put your like content on there because people will shoot you down fast. But it does bring in new subscribers and new followers.
You're absolutely right there, and yes, Twitter does have a lot of bots. You're not going to get away from that because people just don't want to keep track of their Twitter, so they just let their website do it for them.
I mean, it confuses me how the Twitter bot thing works, to be honest, but I only really use Twitter to say when I'm streaming, that's about it, or maybe take a picture of myself. Like a dumb selfie of me at work or something.
Waiting to come home to stream. Okay, next question. If you could join up with one of the top streamers on Twitch today and play together, what would the game be and why?
That's another good question. You've heard of Jack Frags?
I think everybody's heard of Jack Frags.
Just checking. I got to be honest, I didn't used to like his content on YouTube, but the past year or so I've like really like started to enjoy his stuff, and he's also obviously an ex-CSGO player. And I've watched a couple of streams. He is like really funny as he is in his videos. He seems like a really genuine guy, so I'd love to hook up with him on CSGO and maybe have some comps because he can like kick ass while making you laugh, which is obviously a really rare quality, especially for a game like CSGO. So I'd love to hook up with him, and if not him, there's a guy called Kryken 2. Don't know if you've heard of him or not.
Kryken 2, no.
Or just Kryken. He's an American YouTuber, streamer. He's been doing YouTube. He's the one who inspired me to do YouTube. Recently he started doing streams as well, so I'd love to play with him because he plays all sorts of games, Ark Survival Evolved, Reign of Kings, just stuff like that. But he doesn't take it seriously, and like every video he puts out is just like crying with laughter. So I'd love to
I
play
love
with him
those.
as well.
I love those guys that do not take the game seriously and actually just having fun.
Yeah, he would like you have like a group of randomers like who you play with his friends. There's like 4 or 5 of them, but then all of a sudden there'll be like 20 people, and it's like a group who have like a tribe of people. He's like role playing as like children and like running around in Reign of Kings, just like stabbing everyone, like taking everyone hostage. It was amazing.
Nice. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun. I hate somebody who rages while they're playing, and you just they're to the books, and you can't do anything. They have to tell you where to go, what to do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no good.
Next question. Do you think you'll still be doing this in 5 years?
Oh, don't know. I'll be 31, 32 by then, so I don't know. I might have a midlife crisis.
You mean you'll be driving around eating a hamburger in a Corvette?
Possibly. I haven't got a driver license, so that would be a bit mental. Probably get pulled over quite quick. But I don't know. I've been doing YouTube since, not properly. I've only been doing YouTube properly for it's like a hobby for like 2 or 3 years. But I started my channel up at 2008, so obviously that was now 8 years ago. And I've thought about giving that up a few times just because it wasn't not where I want it to be. So who knows, if maybe, I don't know, it depends. I'm really, really enjoying Twitch at the minute, much more than I have been enjoying YouTube, pretty much since I started it. So as long as it continues, and I'm hoping to take Twitch to full time in May. So who knows, when I might really, really enjoy it, or I might hate it and find 8 hours, 5 days a week is too much, and I might jack it in. But who knows what the future holds. Hopefully it will be, but
well, you're a likable guy and you have a great personality, so I can't see why, even if you went full time, you wouldn't do well. And I'll be there. I'll be there most days watching you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll move on to the next question here.
Ideal.
If you had the creative direction to make a game that you'd love to see, what would it be?
I mean, there's a lot. I'd like to say a survival game, but there's so many survival games out there that have promised a lot and not delivered. If I had the funds and the direction, like you said, to do it, I'd almost be nervous to do it in case I disappointed people, to promise or have it in my mind like an idea. But I've always had the trouble of I have an idea in my head and not getting it out properly. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
So something as big as a video game, I don't think personally I'd be able to do it unless I had an amazing team and the resources and the funds. It would have to be a survival game to beat all survival games, but I'd probably not go down the early access route. I'd keep it under wraps for a while, and then when it's around beta, maybe then start promoting the hell out of it. Again, I'd obviously need the resources and stuff to do it, and then start advertising like mad. Kind of like what Escape with, what's it called? Escape from Tarkov, whatever it's called. That kind of approach, because I think it's coming to early access, but in beta, I'd want to avoid this sort of the buggy period where a lot of players are put off by the game before it's even
exactly.
Sorry, that was a really long.
No, that was a really good answer. Next question is, do you have any mentors or people that have been a big help to you in the Twitch streaming part of things?
My friend, I've never actually met him in real life, I guess online friend, he's called Mozoff. He, like me and you spent today trying to set up your stream, spent a good 2 or 3 hours with me in TeamSpeak helping me set it all up, because he's a fellow streamer. And the NG Northern Gaming Bros, by the way, I give him a shout out. And yeah, he really helped me out. And obviously it's more the followers as well, yourself included, just sort of helping to support me. That's the main thing that keeps me coming back, like I said earlier. But in terms of people who helped me set up, Gobbo Kirk, he helped me. He spent a good few hours polishing it off and ironing out all the audio being out of sync and stuff, and telling me if the quality was crap or the quality is perfect or good. And Mozov obviously helped me with my Twitch alerts to make it a bit more
I definitely know what the audio out of sync stuff is like, and Gobbo seems like a great guy. I've heard him play with you, so yeah, I think he would be quite a good help.
Yeah, he's honestly good as gold. He's I got into a video with Psy Syndicate by accident on DayZ, and that was pretty much what I got 101 subscribers overnight, which was absolutely mental. and Gobbo was one of them, and that was going back when DayZ first came out, so it must be like
wow.
2 years now. And Gobbo stuck with me like
Nice.
all the way. So yeah, he's good as gold.
Okay, we'll slap on to the next question. And the next question is a totally random one just to get an answer out of you. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I think I'd have to be like, what's the word? Like, I'm like invincible. I could never be killed.
Yeah,
Live
that would be a
forever.
pretty good one. I think we'd all love that one. Okay.
But I'd have to have some kind of like strength to back it up, because obviously if I got arrested, I wouldn't want to spend like 80 years in jail. So I'd have to have something to go with it. So I can
Super
escape.
strength and the ability to live forever. That is what I want.
Maybe invisibility as well. That could be.
You can get yourself into trouble with that. Especially with the super strength. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Do you have a sidekick you play with, like Frankie say sort of plays with Sada? We won't get into the whole Frankie thing. Or are you a lone gamer?
Well, I mean, look, at the minute, Gobbo's probably the main guy I play online with. There are a couple of others. Like, there's another guy called Pistogen. He's from Sweden. But ages ago, there was a group of 6 of us. It was myself, a guy I met at work called Bates, his friend Jack, and 2 guys who I met through DayZ and YouTube, called Jack and Ed and Basker. And we actually met them in real life. And for a good year and a half, it was DayZ or CS:GO or any other game you can think of which is multiplayer. We played together, but over the years we just sort of like drifted apart. Obviously they have like their own lives and I've got my own life, and I still speak to them every day over like WhatsApp and whatever, but they were my sort of like wingmen for ages. But now it's pretty much just me and Gobbo and whoever's like nice enough to join us.
Okay, we'll go on to the...
Yeah, I'm a social gamer. I like playing with company, especially in survival games.
All survival games are a must almost to have somebody by your side, or a couple people.
Yeah, I hate
especially if you're playing something like DayZ. You don't want to get trapped in a town with 3 guys come up on you and you have nobody to back you up.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming on to the final question here. Do you have any preferences in gear when you play, like a brand of headphones, keyboard, or a mouse that gives you an advantage?
Well, I looked for about 2 weeks on God knows how many different websites for a decent gaming headset, because my old Turtle Beach P11s, which are like a PS3 headset, that's how old they are, they broke on me, and every website in the top 5 was the Astro A40s or A50s, and it was about, I think they're about 250 quid, and I was like, can I really justify spending that much on a headset? But in the end I did. And I got it, and it was probably the worst headset I've ever had. The sound was amazing, but the mic was terrible. So at the minute I bought 2 P11s for about 20 quid each. So I've still got one in the box, because obviously the mic quality isn't amazing, but it's good enough, and the headsets do the job. But in terms of gear, I'd normally put my money just towards the computer itself. I mean, I've got a Roccat Cova Plus mouse, I think it's called. And my keyboard is like a 2 quid keyboard. Obviously you can hear it quite a lot on the stream when I'm like smashing the keyboard, but the keys
I have a mouse like that.
No preference like that. Yeah. So no personal preference, just Turtle Beach in my opinion are a good brand. They seem to last for ages, but I have heard other people say they're crap, so I guess it's personal preference. But my microphone that I use for streaming is a Snowball.
Okay.
And that is a really good quality microphone. I think that was about 70 or 80 quid, but it's like a retro-looking Snowball, retro-looking microphone, I should say.
I think everybody...
and that's really good quality.
I think everybody uses the Snowballs and the Blue Yetis and...
Yeah, I mean, they're a
They
good
are.
little headset. But other than that, it's like I said, I've got a cheap keyboard and a semi-decent mouse, but the up scroll doesn't work, so it makes swapping weapons in CS:GO.
Having a flashy keyboard and a
does the
mouse
job.
that lights up 20 different colors doesn't make you much better in the video games. So...
No, I mean, I've got a Razer keyboard, which I've had for years now, which I just use as like a backup keyboard in case my one breaks. It like lights up and does flashy stuff, but other than that, it's pretty much a waste of money.
But
to be
he
honest,
still loves you, Razer, in case you want to
in my
sponsor him.
opinion. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just about time. We've been talking to Twitch streamer IMrTrippy today. I'd like to thank him and thank the viewers for watching.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
No,
I really
thank
enjoyed
you,
it.
buddy. It's been a great Q&A. Maybe hopefully down the road we can get you back on and maybe with a few other streamers and talk about your streaming life. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and watching the stream. I'm DgtlOne, and this is Behind the Stream. You can join us every week. We're going to have a new streamer, and we're going to be asking them the big questions. We're out of here.